Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video, I wanted to show you 3 different teams you can try for Lone Gaze. As of right now, these are the top performing teams. I'm going to lead it off by showing you what is considered to be the best overall team in the game right now for Lone Gaze. And it is this LENYA team that All Great Gamer has shared with me. So I don't have LENYA on my account, that is why I'm not able to run this team, but LENYA is the greatest damage dealer option for Lone Gaze, and if you're going to be running LENYA, you should pair him up with the Kruger, because Kruger will provide the debuffs to cause physical damage to hit harder, and it increases LENYA's damage a lot. MIKOLA is here for the healing and also the haste buff for your team to increase LENYA's damage further. And Coco is here for the damage reduction and protection. Rainier is here for the position swap for attack buffing the LENYA. Now, people have tried both the Verdant spell, and that is what All Great Gamer used to get the best score that he was able to pull off. But the Resonating spell is like really similar in the damage output. But I think overall for the LENYA team, the Verdant spell seems to be better. So let's take a look at the replay, and then I'm going to show you other options if you don't have LENYA. Because I don't have LENYA, so I have to use a different team. Okay, so get control of the on arena right at the beginning of the match, and as soon as MIKOLA can cast her ultimate, there's going to be a lot of value provided for her team, because Lone Gaze specifically, your allies are grouped up a lot, and so buffers like Shakir and MIKOLA do well here. But Kruger is better than Shakira in this slot for the LENYA team because it increases LENYA's damage by a lot. Rainier is in the back. He's going to be tanking the aggro from all of these purple wolves which are spawning during the fog, and eventually it will cause Rainier to die. It's possible that he survives towards the end if like things line up perfectly. So I'm going to see how it goes for his run here, but for my team, and because you don't have like a soul pact on the Rainier or anything, the Rainier usually ends up dying towards the end. Already he's at 50% damage of the boss, only 45 seconds in, halfway through the boss. I think now he might nuke the Rainier, or maybe the damage reduction from Coco's ultimate is enough. No, Rainier's going to get nuked. So now the problem is your damage is going to be reduced by the boss because he has a passive effect that whenever he gets a kill, it increases his defenses. But still, the rest of the team is alive. The wolf tries to assassinate the Coco and does kill Coco. But the remaining 3 heroes should survive for the entire match because you have everyone all grouped up. And as you can tell, all of the shielding still from the Coco ultimate in effect. And the healing from MIKOLA's skills. So it is going to be enough, well, until 13 seconds, and then the boss just eliminates everyone. So 68.3% of the boss's health, and he got an overall score of I think it was, if we just add things up, almost 600 million, or around about 600 million with this team, which is really good. Now I'm going to show you the team that I'm running, and my maximum score so far, I've only done 1 run with my upgraded team, and I got 513 million, which is not bad. It isn't amazing, but if we don't have LENYA, this probably will be the best team for you. So the thing is, if you're running OD as a damage dealer, who is probably the best damage dealer option for Lone Gaze other than LENYA, at least for the pre-endless, then it's better to run someone like Shakir, who can buff him up with the attack buff if he's plus 10 exclusive equipment, and can also give him the haste buff for more damage, and the damage reduction to help him stay alive. This is probably better than running Kruger, because Kruger is for physical damage and Odie is a magical damage dealer. And I went for the Resonating spell, because that increases the energy generation, and also every time your team casts a certain number of ultimates, then Odie is going to gain an attack buff. Yeah, so it just increases Odie's damage. That's why I think Resonating spell is probably the best for him. So here we have MIKOLA up in the front and Shakir running around from the side. Rainier position swaps Odie right into the front. And again, otherwise the supports are the same. Coco, MIKOLA, Rainier. And those are going to be the optimal 3 supports if you have them. If you don't have MIKOLA, I'm going to show you finally the team with Smokey, which also got a really good damage score. It almost tied my damage output from this team. It's in my logs, so I'll show that to you. And so Smokey is really you can replace MIKOLA for Smokey in your teams, and the difference is very negligible. There's not a big difference. But LENYA again kind of shines as an optimal damage dealer for lone gaze. But it's funny because for Orson, she actually wasn't the top tier damage dealer. The Elsa triple damage dealer team was the best, and yesterday in Crystal Beetle, the LENYA was supposed to be the best or one of the best options, but Elsa apparently was bugged or something. I don't know if it was a bug or if it was intended or whatever it was, but Elsa was dealing massive damage to the Crystal Beetle, and no one could rival her damage output. She dealt like 1.5 billion damage, I think, yesterday. Okay, so here we go. Rainier is gonna die in the back, and it is always gonna happen that Rainier ends up dying. I'll show you the formation of the exact, like, how I arrange the heroes in this team. But yeah, Rainier can't really be prevented from dying because the Coco damage reduction is not enough to take the burst. If you had maybe a Thorn Soul Pacting him, he might be able to take it. So that comes to my final point. If, for example, you don't have MIKOLA and you also don't have Rainier at Mythic Plus yet, then I'm gonna give you another team option for like earlier game players. And I think in a lot of teams, you can replace Rainier with a Thorn, because Thorn also provides a debuff to increase the damage the boss receives, not by 25%, but by 17%, and then he can just soul pack your backline hero. So that can be a decent option. Okay, let's go ahead and show you my other replay with the Smokey. So with Smokey, we got 488 million, which is still pretty good. It's only like 25 million less exactly than the MIKOLA version, and maybe with more runs it could even do better. And for this team, then I went for Lily May. I'm going to show you the formation of this team with Lily May, but you could also use Shakira instead of Lily May. It kind of, you can experiment and see which one does better for you. Yeah, but I thought because like Smokey is providing the attack and haste buff, maybe it would be better to have another damage dealer in here to be benefiting from it, even though MIKOLA also does. So even in that previous team with Shakira, maybe it would be better to run Lily May, or you can experiment back and forth between the two. But Odie is the top tier damage dealer for lone gaze, out damaging Lily May like quite a bit. So even if you replace Lily May for Shakira, would be pretty good. Smokey didn't do that much damage, even though he's able to get off his blue aura. It just doesn't deal that much damage, maybe pre-endless. So, but the hasten damage buff is what he is there for, pretty much. So this is another great team. We can just watch the replay to see it in action. And then finally, I want to do some testing. For example, if you have no Rainier at Mythic Plus, and let's say you also don't have MIKOLA, and maybe you just have Smokey, then I want to try a team like that. And I think probably it would be Thorin, OD, Lily May, double damage dealer, Smokey, Coco. The problem is, oh yeah, you would have the factional synergy of 3 Maulers. So yeah, I think that would probably be the best team. And then you have Odie off in the back and Thorin soul pacting him, which means Odie will tank damage from the ball. Or the other option is you have Coco tank the damage for you and have Odie up in the front. But I think I would have the Odie in the back, Thorin soul pacting the Odie, and hope and just keep doing runs until the Odie ends up not dying. So one thing about the Smokey team here you're gonna notice, because you have more healing with Smokey, the Rainier doesn't die at the same point in time that he died in the previous team we watched, and even the LENYA team, because in that you only have MIKOLA, who is not as powerful of a healer as, for example, Smokey. This is the major problem. The boss, he becomes unaffected, or he disappears from the battlefield at the exact time that the blue aura of Smokey went off, and so all the damage is not going to go through. And there, Rainier took the damage because of the healing from Smokey. Maybe after the ultimate wears off, he might... No, he still survived. I think he still will die eventually in this fight, but he lasts for a lot longer thanks to the Smokey. And wow, he actually, yeah, he took that. So he lives like all your team is alive, which is also an advantage, because then the boss doesn't gain that defensive buff that he gets when he gets a kill. And he also doesn't gain the bonus haste, because he gains bonus haste after he gets a kill, and then it's easier for him to kill further heroes on your team. And again, Resonating Spell. Resonating Spell is a great artifact. Attack and haste are pretty good stats, but more importantly, it periodically keeps giving attack to your main carry in the backline most hero, which is the Odie. And yeah, okay, so right there, Rainier didn't die up until the end. And this is why if you're gonna go for like a Thorin version team with Smokey and Thorin soul pacting the Odie, it should be enough to keep him alive if you have Coco at Mythic Plus. Maybe if you don't have Coco at Mythic Plus, it could be a problem, but let's try it right now. So let's say you don't have Rainier, we could run pretty much exactly the same team. Now the thing is, Shakir will not be as great if you don't have Rainier because you're not going to have Odie up in the front line. And Shakir's major job in this team is to be buffing up your Odie or whatever damage dealer you're using, like LENYA, if you're going to run Shakir with LENYA. But if you have Odie in the back here and not being teleported to the boss, then Shakir is less effective in a team like this. So let's try this. Let's watch it in 2x speed. Because we kind of know how things work. We just want to see. And you would probably have to keep doing runs until your Odie survives for most of the fight. Because, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. And when the damage reduction wears off of Coco, I'm worried he might just die. No, he's alive, okay. And the shielding will keep him alive too. So I think the Mythic Plus of Coco providing that shielding is probably pretty important. I don't know if the boss... No, the boss is not going to nuke through because you have the damage reduction, Soul Pact, we have the healing from Smokey. Hopefully he doesn't get popped at the end here. Yeah, anyway, Odie has survived a pretty long time, already 20 seconds in. 45% of the boss, which is still really... This is a good amount of damage coming off. And this is without even having the Rainier. And this is a more obtainable team. And now let's say you also don't have like Lily May. Then I would probably... you would have to replace Lily May for maybe Shakir, maybe Kruger. But Lily May or... Yeah, I mean, Lily May is a really good option. So if you, hopefully you have Lily May, you can just run this team. And this is the most probably budget team that will also get a really good score. Yeah, 448 million damage, 50% is a really good amount. So anyway, guys, those are the major teams that I wanted to talk about. Are there any other hero options that do well in Lone Gaze? Scarlita is not a good option anymore without her seasonal skill, so even if you have her, probably not best to run her. Freyasto can be run. Okay, I did one team with Freyasto. I can just briefly show that to you. And this was... this was like what was the end game... This got a... where is it? Okay, I did it for the stage 1 of the boss. I want to try it again for stage 2 of the boss. This is similar to the end game team that we have for Lone Gaze before the new season began. And, but I feel like before Endless, this is probably not going to be the best. I think the Frestos won't be contributing that much damage, but let's see. You have Smokey and MIKOLA, so hopefully together... It should be enough to keep the Rainier alive for a while, but there's no Coco in here, which is the major issue. Because Coco provides a lot of the damage reduction and protection. Like, our front line doesn't need it, you have all of the buffs and protection and healing, but the Rainier is gonna die soon. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I think Rainier's gonna die right now, there's no chance of him surviving, and then you just have to keep bursting down the boss and see how much damage you can output. I can't remember exactly what was the optimal Lone Gaze team, but I think this was one of the go-to teams for the end game endless mode of the boss. But here it's only getting a bit over 50% damage, so before endless this is not a good option. But this is something you can use, for example, if you don't have anything else, you can at least try this team and get 444 million damage, but even the Thorin Odie team did better. So anyway, guys, these are some teams you can try. Hopefully they work out pretty well for you, and if there are any updates, like any even better performing teams, I will make a new updated video later today, like I've been doing with the other Dream On bosses, because it's funny, I make a top teams video in the right after reset. And that's usually what are considered to be the best teams or based on the Pioneer server testing. But then sometimes new teams come out which are even better. And really, Elsa has been a part of both of them. Yesterday and the day before, Elsa was in the updated new best team for both. So I don't know if Elsa is kind of like, there's an issue with her right now, or she's just intended to be really good before endless bosses. But yeah. I don't think people have done much testing with Elsa for lone gaze, and I don't think she's going to be great here. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope it was helpful, and good luck with these teams. And until the next video, everyone, peace out for now, and I'll see you hopefully in the next one.